Hi, I'm Alexandra the Mischief Maker, and today we are going to be trying out these cardamom cinnamon buns, which I saw at some point when I was in a plant store in Cincinnati on one of my mocha visits, and I couldn't get the idea out of my head, so let's try it. So, the first thing we're going to do is mix our dry ingredients together. So I already pre-measured them, and I did go ahead and weigh them, so I'll put all of that stuff below. But this is whole wheat flour. So it is a cup and a half of whole wheat flour. I have to leave my little instructions. I can't remember these sorts of things. 2 cups all-purpose flour, and this is White Lily. The whole wheat flour was Bob's Red Mill. And let's see what else we need. Half of a cup of granulated sugar. Okay. Woo. I feel like I'm constantly doing millions of loads of dishwashing. Okay. Let me grab it. Okay. Now, I broke my flour canister yesterday. This is tragic. Anyway, half cup of granulated sugar. Not by weight. Seems less important. 2 teaspoons of instant yeast. I would have made this 2 days ago, but I accidentally grabbed just the active dry yeast, and it's different. And the one that I had up in my pantry actually had expired, so always check your dates. See, this one hasn't even been opened. I waited for you all specifically. Hi, baby. How are you? Mocha came to check it out, as she does. Well, this is a half teaspoon, so we're just gonna do it 4 times because I don't want to look for it. 1, 2, 3. What are you upset about? Do you just want to be involved? I'm sure no one will care if you want to be involved. Okay, and then let's also do 2 teaspoons of, I believe the recipe I saw said fine sea salt, but I'm gonna do diamond, which is also a salt. But let's see, 1. I'm doing it 4 times because it's a half a teaspoon. And also, I'm debating on switching up the butter to do like a half of it, or some of it with salted butter and some of it without, because I think that could be cool in the dough, even though, you know, usually for baking you do everything unsalted. But I mean, sometimes I kind of play around with it. Maybe I'll do half a stick of it salted, so I'll just leave this alone. And then add, where did it go? I have a little crock of Mountain sea salt that I keep. There it is. Can't hurt. And okay, so 1.5 teaspoons ground cardamom. I'm gonna just be generous here. So we'll do this 3 times. It's important to watch how people measure things. Because you'll watch old cooking shows sometimes, and I mean, I'll put the correct final sort of recipe jam down below, but you'll watch these old cooking shows because I like to watch them when I do my sugar flowers. And sometimes they get a bad reputation for being a bad recipe. But I find that when you watch the video and look at the recipe, it was usually just a bad transcription of what they did, because when you watch the way they're measuring it, that's often the fault of these things. I could have got out a whisk, but we're just going to use a fork. It smells very good. What cardamom does. I also, there's a sticky bun recipe I like that uses saffron, so I have considered putting a little pinch of saffron in my liquid over here, and I'm still thinking about it, but I'm just gonna leave it alone. We can always change it later. So, okay. So, we mixed all our dry ingredients, and the thing that we're gonna do is I have a KitchenAid mixer with my dough hook, and I have 4 eggs. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my eggs and milk over here. So, might have to maneuver around the daffodil or two. That's okay with me. I'm an avid count out louder. It helps me remember what I've done. The other trick is to only put 4 eggs there. Okay. So, let's see if I've got shells in there. I got one little shell in there. Let's fix it. Let's just fix it now before it becomes a problem. You're not supposed to crack eggs over the bowl, but I do. I don't really care. Okay, and then this is a 1/3 cup of milk, I believe. Yes, a 1/3 cup of whole milk. So there. We've added our little bits of milk, and now we're gonna add the dry ingredients and mix it for 3 minutes. Does sound good. I'm wondering, me and my coffee. Okay. We'll add it first. So the whole wheat flour is supposed to add a lot more flavor. It does add a lot more flavor. You know, for my cakes and things, I'm usually using all-purpose, but when you get into like rolls and other things, I feel like playing with the variation of flour is a way to gain flavor. As is like brown sugar. Dark brown sugar is going to have more molasses in it. Things like that. So let's do slow. 3 minutes. So we're going to stop this, and then we're going to just mix it at kind of normal speed for 5 minutes. So 5 more minutes. Hey Google, set a timer for 5 minutes. It's good to have help. Okay, so I turned the mixer off, and I have my butter here, So it is, I'm just gonna be an ornery ass and do it weird to be doing it weird. But so you need 2 sticks of butter, unsalted butter. I did 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter and half stick of Kerrygold. So I cut them up in little cubes here. And I'm just gonna add these to the mixer, and then 5 to 10 minutes. I bet we roll at like 8. We'll go ahead and set the timer for 10. Hey Google, will you set the timer for 10 minutes?
Got it. 10 minutes. Starting now.
I love a robot. I'll tell you what it looks like. So, I'm going to scrape the dough hook off. Sorry. I am going to scrape the dough off of the hook with a wet hand. Seems like the best way to do it. 1 or 2 times, it said, so it doesn't stick all over your stuff. I've got 2 little errant sticks of butter here. Scrape it. Might need a little spatula. Yep. That was right amount of butter. Yes! I mean, when I say that, I mean, that was the right amount of flavor of butter. Maybe I can just wet this spatula a little bit. Okay. Sorry, I got really excited. You should always be tasting your baked good stuff. I shouldn't say that, I guess, food safety, but with the eggs, but I don't really care. How are you gonna know what it tastes like? Something. It was perfect though. Okay, so we went ahead and did the full 10 minutes on the mix time. Like I said before, I played with, it's good, okay. I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase it. With baking, like, you want to push the edge. So like, no, you don't want something salty, but you want something that's like really going to like wash over you and hit you in a good way. This is perfect with that half stick of Kerrygold butter. Just to please with myself. Anyway, have to get our kick somehow. So I'm got wet hand again. Just makes this easier to get all the bits off. So we're really at a stopping point here for 2 hours. Like, I'm gonna go make another recipe. Can I do this in a decent way? And we're just gonna take this off and cover it for 2 hours. So, I don't know if you can see, but I will show you and we will cover it. Well, I'll just cover it and then I'll show you. How about that? I'll put it somewhere out of the way and work on the next recipe, and then come back in about 2 hours and, you know, we'll just have midnight cinnamon rolls. Oh well, we can't have it all. Or bake them in the morning. We could get to, you think you can get to the very, very last step and then just leave them till morning. So maybe we'll just have Sunday morning cinnamon rolls and not midnight Saturday, which could be a bad idea. You know, a cinnamon roll after a cocktail is not as appreciated. Or maybe it is. I just thought I'd show you the dough before it rises here. beautiful in the sun. I love baking in the sun. It's so pretty. Anyway, we're gonna put this out of the way for 2 hours and come back to it. Okay, so our dough has been sitting for 2 hours, and I tried it at some point in the middle. In the middle, at the 1 hour mark, I kind of turned it around a little bit. I turned it over. So anyway, we've also been making fortune cookies. So my brain is like having a hard time switching back and forth. So here's our dough. I think Mocha has found the fortune cookies that fell on the floor. Okay, so we're going to use just a spatula here, and there are a few little buttery bits in there that I hope are gonna be okay. I should have checked closer, but I'm just going to mush them. And I have a bowl full of water there to use with my hands in a second to make it a little easier to handle. I think it'll work. There could be a few little butter bits in there, but you know what? I bet back in the old time cinnamon days, they were probably more thorough. Mocha's determined to take that camera out. Baby, please don't. Okay? Just leave it. I have it plugged up. Okay. So I have a baking sheet here, and on the baking sheet I put a piece of parchment paper, and on the parchment paper I put some nonstick vegetable spray. There's a little butter bit in there. I'm just smushing them. I think it's better to smush them now, or else they'll never be smushed. Okay. Wash my hands. Hi, babe. How are you? Okay. We are doing this. We're going to pat this lovely dough out into a 8-ish inch square. That was stupid. No! Okay. We're back. Whatever you do, it needs to have water on it. That's the... This is the trick. Or else it's going to stick to it. I'm getting tired. There. And it's probably weird, but I have my little fabric measuring tape here to use. It's like... I use it for all my baking stuff. Well, I don't know. But, okay. See? Magic. And whenever I'm doing that, I always think about my cakes. Look at the butter bits. I'm just going to smear the bed. It's going to work. They're so tiny. Okay. Well, I never finish my story. Typical. But whenever I'm doing my baking bits, I always think about my cake pans, because I know their sizes very well, obviously. So what we're going to do, there are buttery bits. I think it's going to be fun. It's delicious. Let's measure. Let's stop before I get like totally crazy. We should probably firm up our little edges here. So the reasoning of this was that you kind of want to be able to roll it into a actual rolled out sort of shape. So this goes back in for another 2 hours, and in the 2 hours, I'm gonna sit here and make fortune cookies. Really hope the buttery bits are fine. Okay. So, little square shape. 8 inches. 8 inches. Not bad for me today. Well, it's kind of like also with the cake. So when you start out with a round, like to roll fondant out, you will end up with a round shape. So you want this to be a square, or a sheet rather. And so, I don't know if that's important, but okay. Just gonna leave it alone before I do more harm than good. Into the fridge for 2 hours it goes, and while it's in the fridge, we will make our filling. So we're gonna make the cinnamon roll filling before I completely forget. And once you make it, you're not supposed to refrigerate it again. So it just chills out at room temp until you put it in your little 8-inch cube. Mocha's eating her dinner. It's chaos. Okay, we've been making fortune cookies, been doing this. Okay, filling. This seems interpretive, like you could put many things in it, like cardamom, more cardamom, clove, I don't know, cloves, more cinnamon, less cinnamon, you know, more salt, orange zest, whatever. But this is our base jam we're gonna try today. So cup of brown sugar. This is the part where I'm gonna go weird, because I already had these two out from the dough earlier, and they're supposed to be at room temperature, and I just don't feel like them not being at room temperature. So this is half a stick of salted and half a stick of unsalted, and we're gonna go with it, and I have a feeling it's gonna be just great. So I went back and forth, and that's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna just add and do little cubes of this butter. It's very soft. It's been out, which is not a bad thing. That's what it's supposed to be. It's just getting late. So a smart person would just let that stuff chill out in the fridge till morning, and then make their filling in the morning. Probably do it, let it sit an hour and a half. Slice it, let it sit. Well, however many hours is left, and basically just finish it all off tomorrow morning. Which maybe I will. Maybe I'll just let this chill out until then. I don't know yet. I just know I am getting a little bit tired at this point. So, we've got our cup of brown sugar, our half stick of Kerrygold, and our half stick of unsalted butter, which just happened today to be challenged. It doesn't matter. And anyway, just as an aside. So there's that, and then let's do well, I can't find my things. Oh, there. This is a half teaspoon. I'm just gonna do a little bit of kosher salt. I want my Mountain sea salt. So 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Ooh, can't see. This is the Ceylon cinnamon. I don't really think this brand is on there anymore. So this is a half teaspoon, so I'll do it 4 times. What are you doing? I don't know. 3. I have no idea. I do know, actually. I have the newspapers in the front entryway from my speaker piece fortune cookie recipe, and she's just going wild. Let's do a little bit more cinnamon on that. And I'm gonna put black pepper in it too. Why not? Can't hurt anything. Getting rogue, going crazy. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of Mountain. It's like enter off screen, gigantic bucket of salt just out of complete nowhere. So I'm gonna turn this on until it's smooth, scrape it down, do the whole jam. Hey Google, how much time's left on the cinnamon roll timer?
T-minus 55 minutes.
55 minutes. So, we're right on time. I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. So this is kind of what we're looking like here. I'm gonna scrape the ball down and go for it again. But I think it's just gonna be like a thing where I have to take my time spreading it. But the butter is very soft, so we will see. I think you could do a lot of fun variations with this. So here's our filling mixture. You can see how it will be spreadable onto the stove at some point soon. Okay, so here's our dough square. I'm just gonna take it here. Wow. Stuck a little bit, but I think it's fine. Okay, there's always something with my stuff that it doesn't work. Okay, so we're gonna roll it out. 12 by 16. Flour on everything, probably too much. I'm a little overzealous with stuff sometimes. So, center outward. Got our little crazy measuring tape. That's how I roll. 10. Last night I screwed around with it a little too long. Don't feel like it today. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna take our filling and spread it. So 12, 16. Okay, here's our little filling. Hopefully it's soft enough. Mo's running around eating like any bits that I drop on the floor, which is not a bad game for her. Okay. Let's just start spreading this out. Try not to take forever just because I worry that it's gonna be my shoulder mainly if I do it that way. Maybe it should be. I'm supposed to leave like a little bit of an edge. I'm really just not going to talk much and actually work. This recipe is not really that hard. It just is like you just need to focus and shut up. Just do things. It seems. If you want a textbook roll. So I made it once last night and I thought they weren't gonna rise. But they are in fact. Some recipes say to take this all the way to the edge to make an amazing roll. The ones that I saw left a little bit of like a gap here. In there. They also like kind of left some see-through spots, but I think we should be able to do it. Can you see? Okay. Now you probably can't because I have a big hand in front of it. You know, you're probably like me. You probably need to make things like, maybe you need to make them 2 times in a row. So you can really get a feel for it. An unabashed feel for it. And just do it over. Be fast. Strangely, but I just don't want to stretch all the dough. Take a little from here. I also did it on the marble last night, and I have since decided to do it on my big boost block, just because I saw a lot of other people doing them on the wood, and I thought, well, it probably doesn't make a difference, but if you've got it, use it. If you don't, I'm sure it'll work out. I did see people say to take it all the way to the edge. For a superior roll. Or maybe I made that up. But I thought I read that somewhere. So maybe just a little gap will do nicely. I really do want to get these down because I think this seems like such a special thing to do on the weekends. I love breakfast, actually. Okay, now we are going to take this side away from us. Where's my hands off? Could be a bad idea because maybe the flour nest was good. There. The side away from me. Can you see? Tuck it. Move fast. Roll, 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 roll. Yay! Oh, literally, so much better today. Now. Okay. Shit. The sheet pan is wet. Because I threw it in the sink. Just a second. Okay. I know this is awkward. I wonder if I should put flour down or nonstick spray. Okay. They said to pick it up from the foldy part. Whoop. Okay. I'm going to put that back in the fridge to chill for an unspecified amount of time. But the recipes just said chill down. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to cut the mocha's like literally right here under me. But anyway, we're going to cut it into 8 segments here. It's been in the fridge for like 30 minutes. So let's just cut it in half. And then cut that in half. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Look, I've messed this up somehow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay, I was right. Ha ha. Dumbass math skills strike again. Okay. Look how cute. Aren't they cute? Okay, it said to put 1 in the center. And then the rest all around it and let it rise for an hour and a half. So, we shall, said pretty side up. I guess that's prettier, pretty side. Oh, where's he gonna go? There maybe? And there's supposed to be gaps, maybe a little. Cool. Should that be in the center? No. Maybe. Okay. Nope. Doesn't matter, does it? Okay, I'm gonna put it on the bread proof setting. It said you can put them in the refrigerator at this point. Refrigerate them overnight, basically, or like put plastic wrap refrigerator and bake them the next morning. But I want them. I'm going to give them to people for dessert. I'm going to give them to somebody for dessert. I don't know. So anyway, maybe for me. But I'm going to put it on bread proof. I found a setting in the oven. So okay, they are finally going to go in the oven. Okay, so the cinnamon rolls are out, and they puffed up, and they're all tear apart here. And I went ahead and made my glaze, and so I did a buttermilk powdered sugar glaze, but where I tried it earlier, I did a little bit like of a finer, like Florida Soul sea salt, and like a tiny lemon squeezed in there, because I was afraid it was getting all crazy. Maybe we should use a spoon. Okay. So it said to pour them over each roll. But then I feel like they used all of this and poured it over the top. Don't you think? Or maybe that's what I didn't like earlier. Maybe it was just that it was too much. But I will say at least the lemon has, the buttermilk has vinegar in it, so that I like that. I just don't like too sweet. So I got a little worried, but I just need to shut up. Just keep spooning this stuff over it. It's kind of collecting a bit on me here. This middle guy got drowned a little bit, didn't he? Maybe I should just quit. Maybe that's sufficient. And then all I could think about was fresh squeezed orange juice. I'm like, maybe it would be good with fresh squeezed orange juice. Which I love, like actual orange juice. Like actually squeezing the orange juice. And, yeah. The middle one got totally drowned. Well, let's just let this sit, I guess. Do its thing. Okay. So here they are. I don't know if this will ever dissolve really on him. But yes, they worked. So I went ahead and pulled one apart for you, just so you can see. The fluff factor.